Hello, Why Journey one more time, bringing you a new episode. And in this episode, we're going to be trying to understand Jesus' words. Jesus said, "My people suffer for lack of knowledge." Knowledge is something that it will help us to get out of the pit. It will help us to improve life in the natural, but also in the spiritual. Why Journey has been developed to make conscientious in humanity on the spiritual area, because it's necessary that if we continue disregarding this principle that is essential in every one of us in order to conduct life in a different format, we will always going to be lacking of understanding. So what God is do is create a manual to help us understand the beginning to the end. I always say this, that when you understand a spiritual life, it's like when I'm going to put it in the natural viewing, and I'm going to use a movie. When you begin to watch a movie, you begin to see the movie, but you are unaware of the end of the movie. So you watch the whole movie wondering how the end will end. So when it comes to spiritual, and the writer of that movie know the script of that movie beginning to end. The only one that knows how that movie is going to end is whoever wrote the script. So when we came to our mind and asked this question, if God is the one, the author of the script of humanity's life, in totality, it's not just in humans, it's in anything that has life, He created. So if He's the writer of that script, please pay attention. Will He know the end of this movie, of this life that we call an earth? But I'm trying to put it in the human perspective. That way we can engage on what God is trying to reveal to us today. Because it's very difficult that people go around the world confused, because most of us don't know a thing. We think we do. We think that we do. Is a word that most people avoid and don't want to engage in it. Is the word ignorant. I prefer to be an ignorant myself than be somebody that knows a lot. You know why? Because being ignorant, it gives you the opportunity to learn continually. Because the word ignorant is simple. You don't know. I don't know about something that I never become across. I am an ignorant totality in that specific field. So when we try and put things in the right capsule, we come to see things clear, and we help us to don't live in denial. I think that's the most difficult thing in every human. Put the life in denial mode. It's pretty difficult, because we will bring all kinds of confusion in our mind, all kinds of unanswered questions, all kinds of burdens, all kinds of anxiety, stress, because we want to know, but we don't know how, because we don't have the right source. Now we think we do have the right sources with the technology. But when we just input information without even discerning that information, it just creates more confusion in our mind. And I believe that that's part of the concept of technology. Humans, we were put in hold to not obtain information for so many decades. And all of a sudden, boom, we get exposed to massive amount of information, but we don't know how to process it. We don't know how to digest it. So instead of get us out of the confusion, it kind of brings us more confusion. And this is the reason, because it gets very, very difficult for every one of us. Everybody gets excited for technology, but without the right instructions on anything that we do, we will become more confused than we were before. Knowing is something that requires dedication, discipline, willing. All these structures in order to understand a concept or a proposition or a information that we come across. So when we put the willing, it helps us to aim into something, pursuing the information that will help us to clarify so many propositions that we have heard. But if we don't take this initiative, we will live in a very confused world and very confused life. That's why the world is so distorted. Humanity has become distorted worse and worse by every day, every minute. So, what is it that God is trying to help us understand by creating content and bringing you across to you? What is it that God is trying to reveal to every one of us? Because always one of us will be used. God will use anyone that is willing to work in that mission of help society to understand their condition. Because In the natural perspective, it's not going to be that desire in human heart to, oh, I would like to help somebody to understand better the concept of life. So everything has to do with a mercy, divine intervention that God is still trying to implement in our world, in our society, in our lives. So this is the reason why you're going to be listening all these episodes and this podcast. Because in order for us to truly understand who Jesus Christ is, for the people that like to have like a what we call proof of evidence, because that's what everybody is demanding. And the only thing that I can say to God when I begin this episode is like, why do I have to go in this specific points? But only God knows why. Only He knows why. Who's going to be behind this camera? Listen to this podcast and put the effort to know the truth. Because the only thing that set anyone free is called the truth. Jesus said, the truth, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Okay. Everything this podcast present to everyone that's behind these cameras is with the intention to everyone get to know Jesus Christ. That is the core of this episodes of this podcast. To help everybody that is willing. Hear me out. It's not saying to impose over nobody. No. To everybody that is willing to know who Jesus Christ is and benefit, because this is the beautiful. When we truly know who Jesus Christ is, a massive amount of benefit comes to our life. Because it's like a blind thing fall off your eyes and you start to see through. You start to understand better. You start to comprehend so many concepts of life that you didn't have clue before. You become interested in to know the truth. Because that's my main focus in life. Somebody propose something, okay. I listen to your proposition, but I'm going to do my own search in regard of that proposition. And when we do that, we find what truth is. So this is the reason why our society is suffering, because like I said, we just obtaining information that put us in the fastest pace that never been in our history. Please get this, because I have the privilege to engage with people every day in the kind of job that I do. Beside this, what I do. So what it tells me very clear that our mind is wired to the fastest pace that we ever been. At the point that we want answers to be at the tip of the finger, according to our intellect, we think that the answers come to the tip of the finger. But nothing that involves truth will come that easy. You will have to take the initiative to know definitions, to have a certainty of declare, I know something. I know about something. How do you know? Because I did the homework that requires to get to the center, the core, that I'm not longer gonna go by all type of propositions that the worlds offer. When I say world, I'm saying the people are offering, because every day is something new coming up, and we're gonna see a massive amount of information, new information that will pop up every day. And this is what God is trying to prevent whoever is willing to don't fall in that trap. God is trying to help us understand from the beginning. Because like I said, it is getting complex by minute, by people bringing up all kinds of information that will flip every human mind upside down. What I'm bringing to you is not something that I just come out with a brilliant idea or a new theory or a new, no. This is something that starts from the beginning of our existence until we get to Jesus Christ. And this is why God is doing it the way He's doing it. I'm just, like I say, I'm just here presenting the information. It's in your behalf, whether you're willing to put yourself to know better, to understand better. Because I love to understand things. When I interested in something, I want to understand. Because when you understand, it changes the whole picture. But if you don't understand, you're just scratching your head. So today I'm going to be brief, because I'm going to do the second part of this episode. Today I'm just going to give you this insight that I'm giving you. And what God has put today in my heart is to bring the enabling of God in our humanity from the beginning. Because it's almost from the beginning, because this is I'm gonna take you back to the book of Genesis, because I've been using that book from the beginning a lot, because there's so much in that book that we need to understand. So this time we're gonna go to the book of Genesis, the unfolding that God is trying to bring to everyone. I'm gonna put the scriptures. Here are the scriptures that we're gonna touch today. Okay, I'm just giving you the books, because if I gave you the whole scripture like typically I do, it's going to take me longer to do this. So I'm just giving you those scriptures for you to go in them and read them, because the number one scripture is based on Sarah, the Abraham wife, where God revealed to Abraham that his wife is going to give birth of a child. But she's not a regular young woman. She's already older person. And this is what this will begin to give you guys an insight. God is capable to bring life from something that it's already been defined as dead. Please get this, because this is very important. Because so many people just read the story of Abraham and Sarah when they get assigned that she will give birth a child, and his name was going to be Isaac. Okay. But what people not understanding is that she was sterile. She couldn't have no babies. Until that point, she hasn't had a baby yet. And she was getting closer to 100 years. 90-something years old. And in this time, modern time that we are, we will see that illogical for now in our time to happen. A 90-year-old woman giving birth. Okay? Just bear with this because we're gonna get somewhere. Okay? So even Abraham says, but how this is gonna happen? I'm already almost 100 years old. My wife is already old. Disregarding that his creator is capable to bring life. Now you understand why the resurrection of Christ, because God has the power from bring back life from something that has been declared dead, is no longer reproduce. What is the God is trying to show us by these examples that we've been living? Okay. And the interesting is that didn't stop here. This son, Isaac, married Rebecca, that she became the same thing. She couldn't have a baby. And then Isaac prayed to God, and God heard his prayer. What is it that God is trying to making our humanity to understand? See, this is the reason why we cannot just begin in one spot. You got to go way back to understand these concepts of, life and human. Who's the giver of life? This is what this episode is gonna embrace, and hopefully in the next one, because I'm gonna make two, because this is gonna be short. This is gonna be too long for extended, because I have to do first the introduction. So now Rebecca gave birth not one, but two. Okay? Isaac and Jacob. Those two were born out of Rebecca. And they become two great nations, God declared. And told Rebecca that she was going to be the mother of two great nations. And it happened. Because this is the part that we need to understand. Everything that God predict over any human, it unfolds. This is why I believe in God's plan of salvation to humanity. Because everything has a meaning and purpose. Nothing is just for the out of the blue, no. Everything that God predict, it happened exactly how it was predicted. Please get this, because this is very important. So now we have Jacob and Isaac. Jacob is very important that we understand why God bring life from a dead womb. Because this is the part that even the name of a woman is based on the womb man. Remember, women was created from Adam's rib, right? So It was given the name of woman. Okay. So now we seen God from the beginning operating in the womb of a woman that was incapable to birth life. Please get this. So now God has enabled those wombs to produce life. And to understand this even more, we get to the book of Kings, or the book of Joshua, and we find Hannah and other women that she has been married to her husband for a while. She couldn't have a baby either. And she used to go to the temple to pay sacrifices every year with the husband. And the husband had 2 wives. And the other wife had give childs to him. But Hannah cannot give birth of child. And why, everything when you get in the story yourself and trying to go in and see what God is doing is overwhelmed. So Hannah, the Bible said that she wasn't even eating because she lost the appetite. She was so frustrated because she couldn't give a child to her husband. So now, Elijah was the priest at that temple. Okay? Eli was the priest at that temple. So the Bible reveals that Hannah went and brought to God all the burdens that came. She confessed everything to God. And she pleaded God for her to get the opportunity to give birth a child. And she was crying doing these things. And the Bible revealed that Eli looked at her and he thought that she was drunk. At the point that she had to say, "No, my Lord, I don't drink. I was just praying to the Lord." And God used Eli to verbally give Anna the answer to her prayers immediately right there. Eli says, "Women, go on and let be done as you requested." So it was God confirming that, or was Elijah speaking? It was God saying through Eli, "Women, let be as you requested. I will enable you to have a child." And but she made a promise when she's requested for this child that she will dedicate it to the Lord. Listen to the implication in here. So who was birthed out of Anna? One of the biggest prophet in our history. And that was the prophet Samuel. To the point, did the Bible describe that God didn't let one word of that man that was revealed to the people fall on the ground. Never. In other words, God sustained Samuel's word in every way that he predicts something as a prophecy. This is the reason why we need to, it's not just, it's get to know the whole script that God wrote for the entire humanity, not just for us. Thanks to that script, our society continue growing in the way that was meant to. So when you understand, it's a whole script being written for our humanity. And he knows the beginning and he knows the end. I'm going to continue the next episode. I'm going to leave it in here for everyone to go to these books that I leave in there for you to read these stories, to get to know who is the creator, who is the life giver, because that helps you to understand this. Who truly is the life giver in our humanity? It's only one, is God. Please try to engage in this. I'm going to continue because this is leading somewhere that will help us to understand why God used all these people in the script. It's very interesting. And this is what God want to give everyone a little bit of insight to understand, to comprehend. Don't go by what people come out with theories out there. It's only one script that God wrote for entire humanity. It's no 2 or 3. It's one script. And it's right here. Right here. This script, I believe it to the core of myself. Because I know that I know that is 100% true. Because every prophecy predicted was fulfilled, has been fulfilled until this time that we are. We continually knowing prophecies from this script fulfilling. It's a beautiful thing when we get off of ignorance, when we understand who is the orchestra of this world, the created from beginning to an end, because they will come to an end. But I'm gonna stay tuned to this because I'm gonna go to the next episode. So please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. I'm gonna continue right away. That way, but I gotta stop it to don't make this episode too long. I'll continue, I promise you.